Okay, so now we've got Express. So let's take it a step further. So we want to create some, we have this one endpoint, which is just slash, but we want to have some endpoints to actually do something, right? So we're going to create a real server. So I was going to show you an example, basically, of creating a cat server. So my wife loves cats, so a lot of stuff I do has to do with cats. So in this, let's go back here. How did I lay it out here? So I'm going to create a new file. And I'm going to call this cat.js. Okay. Oh, touch cat.
So you're going to touch the cats?
Yes, I'm touching cats.
Hey, whatever you like.
So I'm going to bring in this code here. And so the first thing I'm going to require is Lodash. So Lodash is great. It's a utility class. It's a utility module that does a lot of things on arrays and collections. So like map, reduce, and find, and all those types of things. So you don't have to kind of write those algorithms yourself.
I got to tell you, it took me a while to figure out why it was called Lodash. It's because it's a low dash.
Yeah.
Yes. So.
Well, so underscore was the original.
Right.
Underscore was the original, and then Lodash came along and said, "Hey, we can do this faster and better." And so it's a little healthy competition between Lodash and.
So if there's a new one, what's it going to be called? Running out of words for that.
Line on the bottom.
I'll look forward to that one.
Too many words. So now here's a quiz, John. I just var created underbar equals require Lodash. What's going to happen if I try to run this code?
If you did a var underscore Lodash?
Yeah, I'm requiring Lodash here. What's going to happen when the node goes and tries to require Lodash?
Well, we haven't grabbed Lodash yet.
Exactly. So because we're using a new module, we have to npm install it. So I go back into my folder here and I say npm install -save Lodash, and this is going to go and install Lodash on my computer. If I go inside node modules, I've got Lodash. If I go in my package JSON, it's a dependency.
And Lodash may be the only library that's actually used more than Express.
Probably.
It's pretty much used by everything.
Yeah, it's very ubiquitous. So let me go back and see kind of what I had done here. So
I wonder why they hadn't made that part of Node at this point.
Interesting. Interesting. So I've got, I'm going to be sending data back and forth to my Express app. So I need a way to actually pull in the body. So Express is very bare bones, right? It's just basically a simple server that allows you to set endpoints and just build out a server with endpoints. But things like parsing the body, parsing cookies, those are all left to plugins.
Right, because normally we think of something like, if we do IIS on Windows, for example, because I've experience there, that server gives you body parsing and all the routes, and everything's kind of there for you. Looking at headers, we can even gzip if we want to, by clicking a button. If we want to do any of that stuff here in Express, we have to do it manually, don't we?
Exactly.
Now, is the reason for that because they don't want bloat that you're not using?
Yes.
Or?
Exactly, you hit the nail on the head. That and easier to maintain. You know, this is very Node. I like to think of kind of like Unix, where it's small, compartmentalized functionality, and you can add what you want.
So anything you want, you have to add. That's the downside, but the good side is you know exactly what's happening.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the other thing too is you can look at people have like you can use a yeoman generator like for the mean stack or something. That'll give you basically all the stuff you need to know. Mongo, Express, Node.
Angular
Node.
Yeah, I think I know Angular. Okay.
So I'm gonna include body parser. So I have to npm install this as well.
And these are kind of like, again, in the Java world, use Maven to go get these packages, or in .NET you'd be using NuGet.
Exactly.
So yeah.
So I've got the body parser in, and then I've got to actually use the body parser. So I can use this syntax. And I'm basically saying, hey, body parser, if my application type is JSON coming across, or if I've got a form submit, just basically parse the body and add it onto the request.
So without that, I'm assuming then that if somebody passes me JSON, I wouldn't be able to read it properly.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. This will attach it onto the request for you so that you can then do what you need to do with it. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this definition here, and I'm going to move all of my route definitions into this cat file. So I'm going to say var cats equals require.cats. So now I'm requiring, but this time I'm not requiring just a string, right? So this is looking inside basically node modules to find this require. I'm using a path. So I'm saying /cats means, hey, require this file that I have here in the same folder.
Is that supposed to be cats plural up here then?
Yes, that should.
Okay.
Ooh, good catch.
So what we're doing then is we're basically, I was just going to have to ask you, this file is going to get really big if we have to have 100 routes.
Yep.
So this is your way of separating the routes into different files?
Exactly.
Okay. Separation of concerns. Gotcha.
Yes.
I like that.
So now I'm requiring cats, and then I'm passing in the app. So when I require cats, I'm going to get back a function. So let's look at this, right? So I'm requiring Lodash, and then I'm saying modules.exports. So this exports is giving me a function. So when I require cats, it's going to make the cats variable equal to this function. Okay? This function takes a parameter called app. And the reason so is because in here you can see I define, hey, app.post, app.get, app.put, and app.delete. So in my index, when I require cats, I then pass app as the parameter and I execute that function.
So that's how you, because you're going to have to do those app gets and app posts, so you need the app to do that.
Exactly.
The other option, I guess, would be to go and create your own express server in the other one, but then you'd be on a different port.
Yeah, well, yeah. The other thing too is when you require, so if I require express, you get one cache value. It's kind of like a singleton. It is a singleton. So if you pull in Express as well, you would get the same version of Express, but then your app that you created in here, yeah, you're
right. So that app is unique to this file, so the only way of getting it over there is by passing it.
Yes.
Gotcha.
That's what, yeah. Okie dokie. So now let's see if we got everything in order. So let's walk through this file, right?
So we got a post and a get.
Got a
I assume
post.
we've got a put and a delete too?
Yeah, and a put and a delete. So I've got one read that just gets all the cats, and I can get a cat by ID. And it's going to do some manipulation of this array and send the right cats back down.
And we have a cats array. Okay, so like on line 9 there, you've got a cats push. That's going to take whatever they give us and just add it to the array.
Yep.
We're not going to validate at this point.
No.
We're assuming whatever you give
I'm
me
just
is a
showing
cat.
you, yeah, some basic stuff.
Somebody sends a dog, it's going in.
Yeah, it's going in there.
Right.
And then a get just basically sends the cats. If I pass in an ID, so this is a good construct, I can pass in this colon with a name inside of my path.
That's a parameter?
That's a parameter. And so I can get my request.params.id is going to be whatever I pass in here. And this underscore or Lodash.find basically finds in the cats array the object that contains name equal to this.
So you're
ID.
just inlining the search. You could have found the cat in the array and then sent it back, but you're just saying, okay, send back the result of finding the array, that particular cat.
Yeah.
What if there's no cat?
Well, then you're going to get nothing back.
Okay.
We can test it out and find it. And then update, again, just basically finds in the cats, and then does a merge of the cats and whatever you pass into your body.
So this time we're doing is a find index because we have an ID, whereas the first time, did we not have an ID? Cat. Oh, you're searching it by, okay, just a different way to search.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And then once we have that, we can merge those together, and then I'm sending down that it was updated. And then again, the same with delete, is I'm just going to remove from the array the cat that has the parameter ID. So this is removing, and this function gets executed. Basically, it's kind of like a map when you use remove on every instance of the cat's array. And
that's
then
a cat name equals ID, is that correct?
Yep, cat name equals request parameters.id.
Okay.
Because in this version, the ID is the name.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah,
So you call your cats by number?
Yeah.
Really?
In this example,
42,
because it's just an array, when we move on to Mongo, I'll show you everything will have an ID, but this itself is just using the ID as the name.
I'm learning a lot about you today, Sam.
See, name equals params ID. Mm-hmm. All righty.
I'm just going to call you number 2 from now on.
Number 2. Call me number 1. All right, so I'm going to node mon this index.js. And I'm going to go back here and I'm going to refresh. Oh, what's going on? And I'm going to go, was it cat?
I forgot what you call the...
Slash cat.
Slash cat.
Can I get that slash cat?
We are running on 3000. We have node mond.
I think this is what happened before, is I think I changed the index file without quitting the server, and that was putting us in a weird state. Oh, there we go. All right. I had to save the file.
So when that happens, sometimes like node mon or node isn't working. Generally what we do is we kill the server, save the files, and restart the server.
Yeah.
Nothing's infallible, right?
Yeah.
This isn't what you wouldn't run node mon in production, for example.
No.
You'd use something like PM2 or forever.
PM2. Well, personally, at this day and age, I'm using Docker. So I just have a single process running in my Docker container, and something watches the container and restarts it.
So this is just a development experience. Once in a while, we have to stop and re-go.
Correct.
And it was easy. Okay.
Yep. All right, so we get this cat, there's an empty array, and nothing's there.
So why is it empty? Because we have no cats yet?
We have no
We have
cats.
nothing initialized?
Yep.
Okay.
So now I'm going to use a tool called Postman. And so in the Chrome store, you can download this.
That was a good movie.
I don't think I saw that one. Oh, is that the one with like she sends the mail through time or something like that?
No, not at all.
No, all right.
Apocalypse.
Apocalypse. So I'm going to create a post request. and I'm going to hit port 3000, and I'm going to hit cat, right? So let me look at see what I defined up here.
Never hit cats.
Never hit cats. No, only pour water on them. They jump really high. All right, so /cat, and I'm going to send in some data. So I don't know. Let's see. What was I had? I'm going to go to my cheat sheet because I had been doing this before, and I'm going to say create a cat with a name and an age and a type.
Okay. Now, we didn't. You can do this because you didn't specify what the body type has to look like.
Exactly.
Meaning, literally, we're accepting any JSON at all.
Which you never want to do. But just for, all intents and purposes, this is kind of so. And the other thing I have to do is I have to make sure that I say that my content type is application JSON. So by sending this across in my request, I'm going to know that the JSON body parser is going to know to parse this as
It's an
JSON
agreement between the browser and the server, right, to say this is the same type.
Yeah, and so if you're building in Angular, if you're creating HTTP request or a resource to go out and get this, right, which would be the counterpart to your web API, you would be sending the content type as to send over as JSON post. So I've got my body, name, age, type, and let's see, everything looks good. So I hit send, and I get something back that says cat created successfully. So if I go back here and I request, now I see that I've got my cat. So we can go add one more. My wife's name's Jessie. Let's say send, refresh. So now I've got 2 cats. So again, we can test out the put. So say
now put is where so you just did a what kind?
Post request.
A post, and that's to insert.
Yep.
Now we're going to do a put, which is going to be to update.
Yep.
All right.
So let's change Jessie. She had a birthday, so now.
And the ID is the name of this one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, good point.
So I have to tell the cat Jessie, and that's how you know which one you're actually updating.
Correct.
What if we didn't do /Jessie there? That means it would have been trying to hit the other route?
The cat endpoint, correct, with a put, and it would give us an error, and it might actually crash the server at this point. No, I think we're still good. Yeah, we're still good.
Good.
Okay, and then delete. So if I say cat Sam, and I say delete.
And Postman is just another application. You can actually, there's a Chrome plugin too that you can use for this.
Yep. This is weird. It's actually the Chrome plugin, but now Chrome has their own launchable apps thing. So it's neat. Like I'm in Chrome and I can command tilde back and forth to it. So it's like in the same application space. It's weird.
I like this too because I use this app as well because I like on the left-hand side you've got that list. You can actually save your commands, so you don't have to worry about retyping them. Great for debugging.
Yep. I also tend to use curl requests, but those are fun too. Okay, cool. So let's see. We've got some CRUD stuff. So this is all good. I've got this here, but here's a problem. If I go and Control-C my server, which is Control-C just kills the node process, and I start it back up, if I go and refresh, everything's gone.
We haven't saved any data.
Yeah, so we need a backing store. Enter Mongo.